Okay. Hey, we're live. Jackie Laura Jones. It's good to see you today.
Bill Free, a blessing to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to be
Thank
a part of
you.
this incredible conference.
Thank you. Well, you know what? It's interesting, Jackie. We haven't talked in a while, and up until like two, 2 or 3 minutes ago, other than to connect when I invited you to be in the conference, and I haven't talked to you about this, but I'm just going to say that the reason that I invited you to come into the conference. And for you guys that are watching, Jackie Laura Jones was one of our first group of presenters in the presenter series last year when we first brought that out. It has been highly popular. It's been nourishing to the soul of the guys that are in it was the presenter series. It came into the umbrella of our membership site called Evolve, which is now over 1,000 people are in there and just
Ah,
loving the presenter series and the content that comes from the presenter series, TGF TV, and we have a couple of book clubs in there now. We have non-duality. We're studying Dietrich Walzak's book in the book study, and we have a library of stuff that's in Evolve. And Jackie Laura Jones was one of our first group of presenters, and several of our people that are in Evolve requested you to come.
wow, is
That's
that right?
that's
Well,
yes,
what a
that's
blessing.
I know that they said several people said, Bill, that when they knew I was putting the conference together, they said, Bill, have you checked with Jackie Laura Jones? I'd love to see her in the conference. And so
Oh,
that's how you got back on my radar, is because of people who loved your presentation in the presenter series. So thank
well,
you.
thank you so much for sharing that because I'm not on all the Facebook platforms and everything. I appreciate that feedback, and as you know, we're all in this together, and anytime we can join and be helpful to one another, it's such a blessing.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm glad to know
You're
that.
welcome. Well, I knew that you didn't know that, but I
No.
know it, and I'm going, well,
Okay.
I need to tell her that it didn't. I mean, it did come divinely, but it came through the mouth of a couple of our people who loved your presentation last year,
Mm,
and I loved it too. And I just feel that this audience at the conference, this audience needs nourishment, inspiration, and also we need them. It's kind of it's a collaboration of
yes.
of speakers and listeners, but the listeners are bringing the vibe to us also, right?
Right.
If they don't,
Absolutely.
if you guys don't show up, we got nothing to say.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
Jackie, I'm really looking forward to your presentation on Sunday. It's at 2 o'clock Eastern, which is 11 Pacific, right?
correct.
So,
Yes.
and 2 o'clock is where we will have a stage of five presenters that will come up 5 minutes at a time. I mean, 5 minutes each, and you'll give a little spiel on your breakout session, what your session is going to be about. It's going to be 90 minutes. And I just noticed on the schedule that Cindy Krupp, right here in A Course in Miracles land, I mean, she like,
Love you, Cindy.
she's your host. So she's your host and
Love it.
moderator. Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
And
looking
she,
so forward to it. What a joy she is.
yes, yes. And also, one of the things that I love about Cindy is that she always seems to be in this energy of contemplation. Yeah,
Well, beautifully set. What a nice, yes.
yeah. And
Hmm.
she'll be really good for your to as a She'll be there to support you in your presentation. And in your presentation on Sunday, without giving away the whole thing, give me a snapshot of what we might take away from our 90 minutes with you.
Sure. Yeah. Well, my goodness, I'm just looking so forward to it. I think this is a great idea, great way to join with diverse teachers that can help people hear something from wherever they are in their journey. My specific talk will be regarding a spiritual thought system I follow, as you know, A Course in Miracles. And, in my book series, I use the analogy of the Wizard of Oz. And Dorothy is always searching outside herself, right? To come home. And we find out that it was all just a big dream. She had the power of belief all along
Mm.
to go home. The Course equates our life here as a dream, one that we'll eventually wake up from. And I share that analogy throughout my book series because I think it's very helpful for us to recognize, wow, we have the power of our mind's belief to remember our truth, our nature of where we really are. We've never left
Mm.
heaven. There's just this separation idea that we believe that we did. So something really important that Glinda, the good witch, says at the end of The Wizard of Oz, which I watched every year. And, Dorothy says, I've had the power to go home all along. And the Scarecrow says, why didn't you tell her? And Glinda says, because she wouldn't have believed me. She has to
Oh,
find it out for
yes, yes,
herself. And I'm going to talk,
yes.
Bill, about the two thought systems in the mind. Are we reflecting love or fear? Are we listening to the Holy Spirit or Jesus or your higher guide? Or are we listening to the ego? And the ego's belief is going to lead us down this road of separation, sin, guilt, fear. And the Holy Spirit's thought system is going to wake us up from this dream of fear, wake us up from these illusions. And it's so powerful. And people can start their new beginning, the new beginning of
Mm.
strengthening the mind in these challenging times and recognizing that it's a choice. But there was a time when we didn't even know we had a choice. Now we know through A Course in Miracles and other teachings that there is a choice, and we're at cause. We're at the
Mm.
power. We're not at effect, right?
Right.
And so I'll be
Yes,
giving
yes.
people tools to help practice so they can start anew and change and transform their thinking through the power of true forgiveness. I'll be offering a bonus too for people who
Cool,
register.
cool.
Yeah.
So, Jackie, do you go by Jackie or Jackie Lora?
I go by Jackie. It's funny that you asked that. My middle name is actually Beth. My last name is Lora, Lora. My maiden name. My father didn't have sons, blood sons. I had a stepbrother. And so when I married my husband, Mark Jones, I kind of just wanted to keep Laura. So I go Jackie Laura Jones now. But yes, Jackie is my
Okay.
name. So
Okay. Well, and your sister is Cindy Laura, right?
yes, Cindy Laura Renard.
She's
So
all right. So she's married to Gary Renard,
that's
and she
right.
kept her. Uh, what is that? Your maiden name then, Laura?
Maiden name is Laura,
Right.
Lora. She
Right.
kept it to.
And so, so tell me, in this series, I mean, in this session, what kind of a practice will someone uh, in, be involved in your session? Will you bring a practice for them to experience something that will help them to have a glimpse of what you're talking about?
Absolutely. This is going to be great, Bill. I'm going to share things that have helped me so much in my daily practice of watching the triggers, watching our upsets, and using them instead of we're shifting the mind's purpose The ego has given a purpose to a pandemic, right? A virus, our relationship problems, everything in the level of form, whether you have depression, anxiety, the ego's purpose is keeping us rooted in that, the small s self. We're powerless. The Holy Spirit is waking us up from this dream. We're this small self, that we're actually separate from our creator, right? And I'm going to give people tools that I've learned and practiced for so long in my daily life to really change the purpose our mind has given these things, so we can slowly wake up from this dream. So I'll have a couple things that people can experience and give a couple of exercises. It's really important. People that follow Course in Miracles say, yeah, but what do I do? What do I do? You know,
Right, right.
when
Yeah.
these things are in your face. And a quote from my forthcoming book too is, when the world gets in your face, forgiveness is the place. And so we're going to go over the steps of that and why it's so powerful. The mind's belief is so powerful. So we can withdraw our belief, recall our projections, the ego's projections, in favor of the Holy Spirit's vision, Christ's vision, looking out, still seeing bodies, still seeing form, but the Holy Spirit has a different interpretation of what we're perceiving. And the Holy Spirit's perception interpretation will wake us up from illusion. The egos will further it.
Right, right. Well, for you guys, for you all that are watching, Jackie Lora Jones is a broadcast journalist, and she can be found at jackie.news. And she's also a certified hypnotherapist and spiritual counselor. So this is her foray. This is what she does. And I'm wondering, Jackie, if will we be hypnotized by you? Are you going to
So,
hypnotize me
yeah.
to see Christ's vision?
Yeah, that's hysterical. Yes, look forward to the hypnotic trance that is. No, this is so funny. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Bill, because part of the way I work with my clients globally around the world is helping them through hypnosis, those that choose it, which is just a heightened state of awareness, to choose the Holy Spirit over the ego, to remember it's subconscious. We don't walk around saying, oh, we're guilty, we believe we've attacked God, now we're projecting it out and we see separation and attack. And we don't walk around daily and think that. Now, after we've studied and practiced the Course for a while, we understand the non-dual metaphysics of everything. But what I do is I work with people to just strengthen that, to like a reminder for that choice. Reminder, when you have a red flag, any trigger, right? If this coronavirus is your trigger, which incidentally, sometimes it takes something, what we would call as seemingly enormous, a global shutdown, to really be this thing where people finally say, oh my gosh, I just can't take it. There must be another way,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Helen Schuckman and Bill Thetford said, but it doesn't have to take that. But this is a really good opportunity to recognize an illusion is an illusion is an illusion. It's
Mm,
all part of the time space holographic dream, which we'll talk
mm.
about why that is. So, as far as hypnotizing everyone, no, but if you want to do a hypnotherapy session or just a regular counseling session, it's very relaxing. And you just work with what you want to work with,
Mm,
and it
yeah.
kind of just goes to a level deeper than sometimes just our conscious mind walking around, trying to navigate this maze.
Yes, yes. So, Jackie, how does one take a reminder that will be offered in your session and probably many of the other sessions? How does one take a reminder and uh, and turn it into a new default? How do we do that?
Great question. And I will be going over this practice, practice, practice. You know, we know what things are saying intellectually. We know what maybe A Course in Miracles is saying, or whatever thought system people are is helping people. But if we don't put it into practice, which is what I'm going to be focusing on, the practical applications of the metaphysics of the course, right? It's very challenging for people. So these reminders will help you strengthen the right mind, the Holy Spirit's thought system. And then it gets easier and easier and easier for you to slip into it. It's just there. Because remember, Bill, I know as you know, we're not striving for something that's away from us. It's right there in the
Right.
mind.
Yeah.
God's
We're
truth, the
remembering.
truth of who we are, has never left, despite our attempts to dissociate it and bring in this false illusion. It's there. It's a thought away. Right?
Yes. Yes. Well, this is going to be a great time. I can't wait to be with you in this conference. We're just 2 days away,
Oh, it's going to be
and
great.
it's filling right up. I'm very happy with the numbers in the conference. It's going to be a
Great.
great gathering, and all these great teachers. And one of the things I was inspired to do about a week ago, I initially had replay recordings and the registration fee as two separate prices. And I was
Right.
inspired to just make it all one price. When you buy a ticket for the base price, you get the replays to be able to watch all of the sessions, every single one of them at your leisure. So you
So
don't have
great.
to you don't have to be in every session. You don't have to do it all at one time in one weekend. You can really space it out so you can drink in some of the ideas and the content from these great teachers. And actually, there's no way that you could possibly watch all of them in
Right.
one weekend. So this way, you will be able to watch all of them. And I am blessed. We are blessed to have you be one of our presenters in the A New Beginning World Conference, Jackie Laura Jones. Thank you for being one of them, and thank you for being our friend. I really appreciate the way you show up for us as friends and the Teachers of God Foundation, Pure Presence Productions, and also the way you show up for our audience is always so generous. I just want to say
Mm.
thank you.
Oh, it's my great pleasure. I thank you so much for including me in this, and your inspired thoughts throughout this whole thing have just been wonderful, and making it accessible to people in these crazy times. So what a blessing, and my love to Lisa.
Good. Thank you. And also for you guys that are watching, if money is an issue, we have a scholarship program. It's very generous, and no one is turned away for lack of money. We want you to be able to
Nice.
watch, listen to, and be part of this conference. So uh, you can go to our registration page. There's a link here on Facebook, but it's purepresenceproductions.com. And when you scroll to the registration page, just click on see more and you'll see an email address there, info@purepresenceproductions.com. And they'll take care of you if you need some help with getting into the conference financially. So thank you all for being with us. Thank you, Jackie. And my
Thank
blessings to you. Your
you,
husband's name is Mark.
Mark.
What's your
Yeah.
husband? Mark. My
Mhm.
blessings to Mark, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
both of you for being with us today.
Thank you so
Bye
much,
bye.
Bill. Look forward to it. Bye.